Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to take a look in the Soulforge, tell you what I think is good and bad in there. I'm going to show you a really cool no mythic journey event team, hopefully good enough to get maximum miles, and a Underspire team too. But first of all, let's pop into the weekly event shop and take a look at what is in there. This Forsaken Guardian. Let's see what this thing does. Deals damage to 2 random enemies based on your magic, boosted by cursed gems, then creates 4 cursed gems. So basic damage, boosted by cursed gems. The trouble is that's not a lot of cursed gems, and there's no chance of getting an extra turn. So basically you cast that, create 4 cursed gems, which is brown, and the likelihood of you getting a match from that, and especially an extra turn, are remote. And then you're going to have created them gems for the enemy, and there'd be more chance of them to create brown with those cursed gems actually cursing your team. So it could actually work against you a bit, but hey, it's one of those weekly free troops and you don't ever expect much from them. You don't, get a Centurion or a Boulder every single week from these things. So a kind of mediocre-ish 4 out of 10 for you, matey boy. Anyway, saw my wife the other day and I said to her, "Your underwear is a bit tight." She said, "Well, maybe you should try wearing your own." Do you see? Oh dear. Right, anyway, let's pop into the Soulforge then, tell you what is good and bad in there. Oh, but before we start, we got a opening in Northstar. Does not happen very often, but we do have one. Rising through the ranks all the time. We'll be overtaking these in no time, probably this week, and we're going up all the time. This is still a fairly new guild compared to everybody else as well. Like, this is one of the newer guilds in the game, and we're actually still flying up really, really quickly. But do bear in mind, we have very, very easy weekly requirements. Very straightforward for that. But don't be misled by that Guild Wars rank. The last Guild Wars we fought nearly all top 7 opponents. No, good fun battles, really, really good. And Guild Wars is a requirement to enjoy and do your best. Don't let people to come in to Guild Wars and just get mediocre scores when we can tell you're not really trying. That won't cut it. Got to enjoy Guild Wars. You've got to be up for the battle, and you've got to be up for the battle in what is the basic equivalent of the old bracket 1, because that is most likely where we're going to be last time. Don't know why it says 61. Last time we were actually 11 when we first played. I think we went 2 and 2, won 2 days, lost 2 days, but we were fighting like Shining Force 1, Guild of Gra, and top ranked teams like that. So be up, you got to be up for them battles basically. You got to enjoy Guild Wars. But yeah, if you fancy joining a really cool guild that gets literally every single thing done every single week, we've never ever failed to not close every single reward on every single event every single time. Really, really cool. Then message Red Hot Rockstar on PlayStation. If you're on PC or Xbox, whatever, it won't work. So you've got to be on PlayStation. So if you fancy a change of a guild, somewhere really cool, kind of chilled, but kind of semi-serious at the same time, all you got to do is love Guild Wars and don't be a slacker, and you'll be okay. Right, with that, let us pop into the Soul of the Forge and see what we've got going on there. Let's start off with the weapons, see what we're got going on here. What's this thing? I can't remember what it is. Or where I'll put it. Oh yes! Forgotten Bolt. Do you see? Oh for goodness, it can only get better. Anyway, it does damage to an enemy boosted by brown allies and dwarf allies. But yeah, basic damage with a boost, but don't get it from here. Get it from the Journey event shop. Much better to get it from there, because you get it from there and you're going to spend gems rather than your hard-earned diamonds and other specialist resources to get it. So yeah, definitely better to get it from the Journey shop. Next up we have Fire and Ice. Deal damage to all enemies and give 2 life to all allies. That life is a seriously low amount. That's a set in stone amount as well, not something that's affected by your magic. If it's written in purple, then that is how you do more damage, because that's affected by your magic. So like some players, higher level players, do more damage than maybe if you're a lower level player and things like that, because written in purple is affected by your magic score. Written in black, like that life is there, it's set, and doesn't matter how low or high level your level is, that ain't gonna change. So yeah, give 2 life to all allies is a very, very stingy amount, but you do get the odd occasion where you like survive by 1 or 2 points, so it may save you now and again, but it still doesn't stop it being a not particularly great weapon, so nothing special there. Not going to go over all these ones that are here on a regular basis. They're in my Soulforge extra video, which is a link in the description below. And next up we have the Doomed Blade. Deal magic-based damage to all enemies with a +1 per temporary level boost. Transform red gems to Doom Skulls. If the enemy has a Doom, create 5 more. Gain 3 mana for each blue enemy. So obviously very effective against an all-blue team. And I do like these weapons. The only thing I don't like about them sometimes is you have to wait to cast them. There's like that transform red gems to Doom Skulls does nothing but say set up the enemy. And it is best if you can do it when you get a 4-match at the same time. So yeah, really effective given the right situation. But yeah, I do like them. A lot of damage for them things. They can go absolutely mental if you get the right alignment on that red Doom Skulls on this sort of thing. Really good. And good mana gain as well if you're fighting a blue team, is it? Blue? Yeah, a blue enemy. Stone Slicer. Do magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by construct allies. Then create a mix of 6 purple and brown gems for each construct ally. Uses a blue and purple, creates a purple and brown. So this is one of those rare ones. Like normally on these weapons, they create opposite colours to what it uses, so it can't self-charge. But this one is different. It actually uses purple itself as well as creates purple. So if you have an all-construct team, then you're creating the most amount of them purple and brown gems possible. And because it uses purple itself, can recharge and do it again and repeat that damage. So yeah, I do really like this one. What goes against it, as soon as you cast it, it creates a dust storm, which is brown. So in an ideal world, you're going to use other troops that use brown as well, which you should do anyway because it creates brown gems as well. So basically, yeah, construct 1 or 2 of them using brown and or purple, preferably brown because the purple you want for yourself, and you've got a interesting team there straight away. Korag's Invention does damage to an enemy boosted by Drakzum allies, then create a mix of 6 blue and brown gems for each Drakzum ally. See, this one uses red and yellow. This is how it usually goes. It usually uses different colours to what it creates. So you have to make sure at least a couple, or at least 1 minimum, 2 better, if your troops are from Drakzum and indeed use blue and brown. But these kind of weapons only work effectively if you have all Drakzum allies in your team. So do bear that in mind. Same as this one only works to its full potential if you've got all constructs. And so on. Do you see? Axe of Drakzum. This is kind of the anti-Drakzum weapon in a way. Remove all brown gems. That's the colour that Drakzum allies or enemies like the most. Then deal magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by gems removed. If the enemy is from Drakzum, or if the battle is in Drakzum, deal double damage. So not the kind of weapon you can use very much. It's a kind of collectible more than anything, but it's a good collectible because it's only 75 diamonds to get it. So definitely worth picking up, and it gives you another weapon to your collection. And that can be useful because you collect a certain amount of weapons, power them up, and you can advance your game that way as well by having a certain amount of weapons from a certain kingdom powered up. Keg's Crusher does damage to an enemy based on your magic, boosted by dwarf allies, then create a mix of 6 blue and brown gems for each dwarf ally. A lot of these type of weapons for this, lot of people here, these fellas from Drakzum, lots of these create a lot of mix of this and that. So this one uses brown and purple. Brown? How is that brown? That'd be green. Uses green and purple, creates a blue and brown. So make sure you've got a load of dwarves, at least a couple of them using blue and or brown, or both, to make the most of that mana, because it ain't going into the hero, which is why the other weapon up there is so useful like that. Ankh of Nefertari. Another one which is incredibly vital to get today. Don't care about what it does. Gives life to an ally boosted by brown gems, then give them a quarter of their mana. You may think, why is it essential then? But very recently we picked up another one of these Nefertari weapons, but it's important for the crafting of Duskbringer. Even if you think you're nowhere near away from having 1,000,000 souls, so you can craft this thing, get this today. Because if you don't get it today, it'll be gone for absolutely ages, because it's going to be yonks before this thing comes around again. And by the way, yonks is a really, really long time. And you grab these other ones when they turn up as well. and you'll be prepared, because if you don't get it today, it could be, like I say, it could be absolutely ages before it turns up again. So make sure you absolutely 100% get it today, even though you think you may not use it. Because when Duskspring comes up and you've got millions souls spare, which will happen sooner than what you think, you'll be prepared. Wand of Stars. Again, say it every single week. If you've got the spare resources and you haven't got this yet, it's the best weapon in the game. Can backfire now and again, but cast it when it's in your favour on the board regarding that bless or curse on the colours, and yeah, it's absolutely golden most of the time. Absolutely fantastic weapon. Ridiculously good mana generator, and really good for the bless and or curse at the same time. Awesome stuff. What else we got? Glowing core. What's that? An apple that's got a light inside it? Anyway, it explodes magic +1 brown gems. Grants a random status effect to all construct allies, then summon a construct troop. Do really like these explodey summoning weapons. This is a good one. Exploding brown gems, giving construct allies status effects and a summon at the same time. Very, very nice indeed. What else we got? I got a Doomed Heirloom. Give 2 magic to all allies with a +1 per tempering level boost. And give magic +2 armor to blue allies. If the enemy has a Doom, gain 10 attack. So, got to have an all blue team to benefit from that armor. And it does give magic to all. And it's probably better than what it sounds. It's just, I don't really like the armor thing. If it was life, it might have been better, because if you're against a true damage team, then that negates that armor gain completely. Unless it's like you're doing spell-based damage based on how much armor your team has got or something like that, some technical reason. But other than that, it is quite a nice magic boost, to be honest. If you've got this fully powered up, say like +12 magic to all allies when you cast it, but you still need to do like heavy damage. So if your other teams are ready, if your other troops are ready, maybe there could be a way to use it good, but it's just not something I think of or go to when I'm thinking about putting a team together. It's one that gets sidestepped in a way, so not essential for me. The Doomed Impaler sounds a bit dodgy, but it does magic-based damage to the first 2 enemies with a +2 per tempering level boost. Create 2 red gems for each red ally and enemy. If the enemy has a Doom, gain a random status effect. So, decent amount of damage when you got this tempered up. And then creates 2 red gems for each red ally and enemy. So if you've got an all-red team against an all-red enemy team, this thing can loop forever. There's other colours of this as well, and if you've got an all-red team and at least say 2+, and definitely 3+ red enemies, then these things can loop and loop. Absolutely fantastic, and keep on doing that damage at the same time. If they have a Doom, you gain a random status effect. So very, very good in the right situation. And oh, I thought I was going to say that was it, but we have a Stone Caller at the bottom. Yoo-hoo! Stone! They don't get any better, do they? But that's the idea. They're supposed to be so bad they're good. It explodes. Magic +1 brown gems. Grants a random status effect to all Draxum allies. Then summons a Draxum troop. So another explodey summoning weapon there to enjoy. Right, so with that done, and I can't remember what that one was about. Onto the troops. Right, let's take a quick look at these summoning stones as usual. See if there's anybody good in there. Mercy's decent. You're looking for anybody that's empowered. Goblins, things like that. Really useful kind of troops. Mercy's really, really good. Give you the edge in things like Guild Wars. We've got in green. Oh god, Leprechaun. Pretty much essential. Again, starts battles with full mana. Explodes magic-based green gems boosted by your gold. And gain gold. So even if you're a lower player that doesn't explode many green gems straight away after the first cast, you get more gold and you basically explode more green gems. So very, very good mana generator, but does actually get better as you get higher level in the game at the same time. If you're really low level, it's going to explode a very low amount of gems at first, but he will grow with you. So definitely worth picking up or trying to get Leprechaun from there. No one particularly outstanding from there. Enchantress is outstanding for 2 different reasons. Again, I am not getting involved in that conversation. Nymph looks like she's sat on something nice. And what else we got here? Nothing particularly useful there. He had a kite. There was a big gust of wind. It ripped it out of his hands, and he lost his kite. And now he's trying to save up to buy another one. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right. Anyway, let's start with these mythics. Let's start from the bottom and work our way up. And who have we got first? Oh, hello. Hello. Wasn't this one of the tricky to get ones? I can't remember if it was gold marks from the PvP shop. But either way, I haven't got this yet. So I will be, even if I don't think it's any good. But yeah, Aldin. Drains all mana from an enemy. Deals magic +2 damage to all enemies, boosted by mana drained, a 1-to-1 ratio. So you drain a lot of mana from someone, and that is going to boost that damage up considerably. That's alright, that's alright, and available today. In fact, I'm not even going to mess around. I'm going to say thank you very much. Thank you, Tar. Right, so who is next? We have Mythic. Bit of an annoying thing to fight against, but not that useful on your team, really. I mean, it kind of sounds good in a way to some people. Reduced damage from spells by 50% is high. Reflects 75% of skull damage. So getting half damage from spells and pinging back 3/4 of what he receives in skull damage sounds effective. Explodes a 3/3 block, getting some mana back. Then gains magic-based armor and barrier a random ally for every skull destroyed. So you can keep your team barriered fairly reliably if he picks up mana again pretty quickly after cast. But yeah, very defensive troop, and you don't hardly ever see it in PvP teams, and that is normally a clue to how good certain troops are. Yes, not very good. Not very good, unfortunately. Mambasira. If she hits hard, it can be very effective. If she hits low, can be a bit rubbish. Because it does a random amount between a low amount of your magic value and just above it, damage to 6 random enemies. So at the high end of that, that can be significant, and I do like the fact it's damage to 6 random enemies. That can be effective, and I do like Rising Venom. All green allies gain 1 to all stats at the start of each turn, and she is green herself, so she will benefit from that as well. So if you have other green allies, 1 to all stats of each turn is actually pretty good in those games, which can take some time. If you've got like a quick kill team that's done things as fast as possible, obviously that is not very effective. But in a long game, or it could be a long game, or the sort of game you've got no choice but to be long, then she can be very effective for that Rising Venom as well. So yeah, because that puts her damage up every single turn as well. So yeah, not too bad. Fallen Valdis is just bad. Absolutely shocking. She was brought along, if I remember, when Divines were super dominant in the game, and they were just, you know, the way that everyone picks, you know, you get a load of Stellarix or Chrysanthrax teams now. You're getting that in the game a lot. This is how the game was several years ago, but regarding Divines, and it was like, in fact, it was even worse, I think, than what it is now with Stellarix and Chrysanthrax and things like that. It was very heavily focused on Divines at the time, and they were super dominant in the game. And Fallen Valdis was brought along to try and sort that out. Hence, rip on the Divine Enemies thing on the Smite the Heavens. Does damage to all enemies, explode 3 Doom Skulls boosted by Divine Enemies, and silence Divine Enemies. So she is effective against a Divine team, but apart from that, it's she's not that great. So yeah, Fallen Valdis, more like fallen over, and didn't end up being any good at all. And how that's to do with falling over, I have no idea. I was trying to make a joke up on the fly and it completely failed. So it is what it is. So that is 4, is it? Fallen Valdis, Mambasira, yeah, Mythic and Aldin, the new chappie. Right, oh, didn't go over the Cosmic Dragon. It's Emeraldrin. This is a gem dragon, so if you're looking to craft Diamantina and Emeraldrin is the last one you need, for example, then I say that's a definite worth thing to do, to spend that extra Dragonite to guarantee it, because otherwise you can just keep on getting duplicates. Is they each to their own thing? You could open another egg and get Emeraldine straight away, but for most people it's just duplicate after duplicate, and it can be very frustrating. And yes, it's more Dragonite, but it guarantee you the dragon you want. So if it's the last one you want and it's guaranteed in the bag and you've got that Dragonite, I would say it's definitely worth the expenditure. Right, on to the legendaries ever so quickly. Zernabog, fantastic troop. This conjures a dust storm when its turn begins, which is brown. So when its turn begins, that means every single turn it is alive, you get a brown storm. Uses brown itself and creates 10 brown gems, then explodes magic +1 gems. So yeah, absolutely awesome mana generator, can be absolutely fantastic, and it's a construct, so works really well in a construct team where they use, or they like to use, a brown, should I say. Foxglove. This is good as well, I like this. It creates an entangle gem when my turn begins, and is immune to entangle itself, and has 20% chance to dodge skull damage, so can be pretty decent up top. And choose one, convert blue gems to green and red to skulls, or convert brown gems to green and purple gems to skulls. So 2 options there on each side of that spell, which converts different gems to different things. So, you know, you've got to look at the board quite a lot when you get ready to cast this thing. So, but it can be very, very effective for those reasons there. And, well, we haven't had 4 yet, have we? I've skipped past someone somewhere. Or 2. Zernabog. Oh, I didn't scroll up far enough, that's why. Ursula. For a start, Northern clans, all Urska allies start with 50% mana, really good for that and an Urska team. Then does scatter damage boosted by enraged allies, and enrage all allies and give them 6 attacks. So yeah, the spell's not that great, but she's really good for that nice quick start. On your team, an Aberath. Actually, not as bad as it sounds. I remember playing around with this once and thinking it was actually quite a lot of fun. Remove all gems, heal back to full, and gain magic +1 attack. So the cool thing about this was you can leave it somewhere. Say, I actually used it up top. I remember this was a few years ago now. And every single time I got near to death, or as close as I dare, that's when I cast it. And it removes all gems, resets the board basically, but heals back to full. You just, you know, if only you don't get killed, you just heal back to full again and gain attack at the same time. And then hits harder and harder with skulls. So as long as you can keep that thing going, of basically just cast it just before it dies, then it can be actually a really fun troop. So yeah, did actually enjoy that troop. But who is my Mythic of the Week? And I'm sure that bit gets longer each week, but I'm not going to get into that sort of competition thing of making it longer. Otherwise it's going to be just ridiculous eventually, as well as sound rather stupid. Anyway, Mythic wise, we have Fallen Valdis. Rubbish. It's not happening. Not going to be you. Mambasira. It's not a good bunch of Mythics this week. You know, like, so it's in with a shout because Mythrilian is next, and that's pretty poor. But I think it has to go to Ala Al-Din. It sounds actually really, really good. So it drains all mana from an enemy. Does damage to all enemies boosted by mana drained. So, yeah, a 1-to-1 ratio. So that can be a significant boost in that damage. So Ala Al-Din is my Mythic of the Week. Right, now onto the Journey team, but quick shout out to the guild, our guild North Star, the one I'm in. We are looking for a new player at the moment, maybe 2. Someone's been away for over a week. We're not quite sure what's happened, but easy weekly requirements, and we get literally every single thing done every week. There's never been a time when we haven't completed every single reward on every single event every single time. So if you're on PlayStation and fancy a bit of a change, or just want to be in a really cool guild that gets everything done and are rising through the ranks really quickly, not quite sure why it says Guild Wars rank 61. We were like 11 last time, and we did go 2 wins, 2 losses on the days, but we were fighting pretty much all like top 7 teams. Like we fought Shining Force 1, Guild of Gra, and things like that. It was like really good battles, and we only narrowly lost out on a couple of those games as well. So yeah, so really good. So you must like Guild Wars though. We focus on Guild Wars because it's a mode which a lot of people enjoy in our guild. So not interested if you just want to come into Guild Wars and not really care if you win or lose. We want people that actually want to try and get wins in Guild Wars and rise through the ranks. And we're going up the league ranks all the time as well. So we're going to be 42nd node time this week, so that will happen as well. And this guild barely like a couple of years old now, I think. And for a guild that young, we're actually doing really, really well. So yeah, if you fancy that, then message Red Hot Rockstar on PSN. But on to the Journey event team now. We're going to go all Nisha for this. Don't need any further boosts because we get that from the shop. But you must use the event captain Cormac the Restless in your team. Has ×2 magic and the trait gives ×2 to ×3 score. That is effectively your miles, and you get him or her or it, whatever it is, from the shop. At tier 1, you get the potion of enchantment. Enchant all allies at the start of battle. Does apply to this event only, but it's all good because you pick up other stuff at the same time, including Journey event sigils. Tier 2 is where you pick up Cormac the Restless. Does damage to an enemy, then creates 2 brown gems boosted by dwarf allies. So you must have an all dwarf team to get the most loop potential there, because it's really important that you loop as much as possible in Journey to get the battles done as fast as you can, or as fewer turns as possible rather. A potion of explosion will be yours as well at tier 2, exploding gems at the start of a battle, which again helps your team to get charged up really quickly. And tier 3, we get the Forgotten Bolt. Might as well get it. It's another weapon, damage to an enemy boosted by brown allies and dwarf allies, and then you can get whatever tiers you fancy after that. We do get the potion of rejuvenation at the same time. But tier 2 is where you can get Cormac the Restless, and there's 2 ways to get it to mythic level. You can either get tier 2 here, back out, use 2 orbs of ascension to get it to mythic level that way, or you can just simply keep buying enough tiers to get enough copies of it to turn it into a mythic one, whichever one you prefer. But absolutely essential, it goes in your team. Right, now onto the fights itself. I've skipped out the early ones. They were super duper crazy, way too easy. So I'm just going to show how this team works here. Always go for the battle which gives you the most miles if you can handle it. If you were winning comfortably, then always go for the one that gives you the most miles. And a loopy team is important because in Journey, to get the most miles, you need to win each battle in as fewer complete rounds as possible. If you complete the battle in 10 rounds or less, you actually then get the most miles. You go above that is when you start to lose miles or drop off miles. Same as if you lose troops, you start to lose miles as well. So it's important to have a loopy team as much as possible. Now, one round is basically your turn, including all extra turns, the enemy's turn, including all extra turn, then back to you. That is one complete round, and you have to do each battle, win each battle within 10 rounds or less to pick up the most miles. So loopy teams are important. Now I'm going to go with the Doomed Spade here. Does damage to the first 2 enemies with a +2 per tempering level boost. Then create 2 brown gems for each brown ally and enemy. That bit's super important, and enemy. If the enemy has a Doom, again a random status effect, not worried about that bit. But we're forced into a brown team anyway. So we've already got a nice boost from that. But as soon as there's a brown enemy in the other team, this actually generates more brown than the Journey mana generator. So it's really, really cool. I mean, we can use this guy as a backup, but this is our absolute go-to mana generator because it does that really good damage to 2 enemies at the same time. King Highforge is here to give a 50% mana start to basically our entire team and can chip in with some damage as well, and as the summon, which could be useful later on. And a Dwarven Miner. Gain bonus brown from brown matches, as well as destroy magic +1 gems of a chosen colour. The bonus gold is there, it's just bonus gold, but the cool thing about that chosen colour is of that destruction of gems is it's with full effect, so you pick up that colour, but you can also look around and see if you can pick up any other mana matches once those gems have been destroyed, and you can actually get a load of mana from this if you actually look at the board and plan your make your choice carefully, shall we say. So yeah, really, really good. So let's just take a quick look at the banner for this. +2 brown, +1 purple, -1 green. And the class for this will be in Rune Priest. Important to be in a dwarf class, at least at first, because when things get tough, we can change to Elementalist class. If you find it tricky, if you're starting to lose troops, or it's getting just feels dangerous on those super hard levels, then Elementalist is a bit of a must to make sure you get that burn, stun, freeze, and entangle on the enemy. But Rune Priest, really good go-to one at first. And regarding talent trees, we can have Impact, we can have Mastery, we can have Vanguard. We don't care about this one, this is irrelevant, this one. But Vanguard's important. Razor Armor, handy. Rock Solid, getting brown all the time with this team. Stone Mastery, extra brown, don't really care about that. We're not collecting green. And Fortitude, so really, really cool. And let's jump in and have a few battles. So we got one brown enemy there, so we're going to be getting some bigger mana gen boosts from our weapon. 50% mana start on everyone, look, really cool. Potion of enchantment and the explosion, we're nearly ready to go already, Eddie. So let's get that boost. Boost is plus 10, you see, with just one brown enemy. Even the mana generator only gets plus 8, so this is always a better one to cast. Even if it doesn't match, like it didn't then, we were a bit unlucky. It's like we can still like hit them hard. Because there was a load more brown on the board when we cast this, it gave this one a better chance of working, which is really good. And we can finish off. Alright, let us jump on to the next one. See if we get a slightly better start this time. Hardly any brown on the board, so not the best start in the world ever. That's what's going to happen with the game sometimes. It will feel like it stitches you up on that kind of thing now and again, but all good. And we have, look at this. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4 brown enemies. Look at this, plus 16. That's absolute filth. This will absolutely loop and just do it again. On those levels where the enemy's got a load of armor, a load of health, and you have to hit multiple times, that will just loop and loop and loop until they are gone. Absolutely fantastic for that kind of thing. Really good, the Doom Spade. If you haven't got the Doom Spade, then just maybe go Mountain Crusher. Mountain Crusher, a really, really good choice. For lots of mana gen. Have we got any brown enemies? Got one on the bottom there, look. It didn't loop, but this is where this fella can come in handy. It's not going to be enough to... Oh, it is. Happy days. And as long as you can do the battles comfortably, always make sure you do the hardest battle possible. And that gives you the most miles, which is basically transferred to score. That wasn't very good, was it? Should we give them a skull wallop just for the sake of it? Got one brown enemy there, so always best to do that. Then we can use this fella to finish off. The extra magic being significant for single target damage. And on to the next, on to the next. A parrot wants to come into my pub. Surely some mistake. Right, we will get that because it's red and purple. So this is where this is quite useful because you can kill someone off who's potentially annoying as well as generate plenty of brown. And once this casts next, you got a lot of brown there, so you got a better chance of a loop because you got the brown there. And then we can do that single target damage with this fella and smash him into oblivion. And on to the next. Let's do a few more. Pretty clear how this team works. Just really important to keep on looping as much as you can. So one brown enemy, still better than casting the Pathfinder. But when you do have to, then you obviously can. So it didn't match at all then. That was a bit unlucky. It's okay. See, when you cast this, this is where you can actually look out for other matches at the same time. Destroy gems of a chosen colour. Just having a quick glance around. Now, like if we destroyed brown, not only are we going to get brown for our team, but we're going to create an extra turn on yellow. So I'll do that. There you go. So we've got mana gen and an extra turn, which again helps the loop of the team. Helps you keep your miles high. So yeah, Dwarven Miner, really, really good for this. Just got to be careful when you cast it. You can't just cast it willy-nilly, wherever the saying goes, without actually paying attention to what's going to happen afterwards. So again, it's being a bit stingy on our brown is what it is. But we have 3 brown using enemies. So this is going to create an absolute bucket load of brown. And it will almost certainly loop. Until everybody's dead. So yeah, really good team this. High potential to get like pretty consistent maximum miles. And maximum miles is what it's all about. Like, we're nowhere near, been absolutely nowhere near 10 turns yet, 10 complete rounds. Like, what we've done, 3 tops. Walk in the proverbial park. Let's just do a couple more, then we'll call this part a day, and we'll shift on to the Underspire team. Ooh, what we got? Some brown from there. How many brown enemies we've got? Just the one. So this is where it's kind of risk versus reward. See, if I cast this first, I can get rid of somebody else, but I don't want to actually get rid of Glaceon first, bizarrely, even though it's a dangerous troop. We can get rid of somebody else who isn't brown. So when we cast this, we get more of a brown boost. And then, once they're finished off, we can hit hard with our magic boosted Pathfinder. Right, so yes, mate, this last one, and we'll jump onto the Underspire team. So yeah, fairly straightforward most of the time. Just got to remember though, as ever with Journey, no matter what class you start with, what's good to start with, you should basically switch to Elementalist class when things get tough. You've got 2 brown enemies here. Brown for days. Didn't quite get charged up. This is where we can use this now. And finish off. Lovely chubbly. Right, now on to the Underspire team. Right, a fairly straightforward team for this, and quite different from the one we were just using. Sometimes the Underspire team ends up very similar to the event team, but not in this case. What we can do for this one, we can actually use this weapon here, Korag's Invention. Does damage to an enemy boosted by Draxum allies, then create a mix of 6 blue and brown gems for each Draxum ally. So with a whole team of Draxum allies, that's going to be a shed load of blue and brown, as well as doing some decent damage. So the blue will feed into these 3. Oops, got 3 troops here. A Lithian Servitor does damage to all enemies and steals 2 magic from the survivors. So if they survive the first hit, then it gets more powerful, and there's 2 of these. As well as that, reduce damage from spells by 25% is useful, and gain 1 magic for each purple ally. So that's our main damage dealer there. But the brown from this will actually feed straight into Forsaken Guardian, which does damage to 2 random enemies boosted by Cursed Gems, then create 4 Cursed Gems. So making use of this weekly event troop, which is a bit rare as well. Now, if you have got it, then there's absolutely no doubt whatsoever that Garner Talon would be a better choice for this, doing a massive amount of damage to all enemies boosted by brown gems, and then converts brown gems to brown giant gems. And there's a 10% chance for an extra turn boosted by brown gems, as well as give 2 magic to all brown allies when matching brown gems, which means Garner Talon gets boosted when that happens. So yeah, if you've got Garner Talon, definitely worth swapping out, because all that brown from that will feed straight into Garner Talon. So yeah, very cool indeed. So it's fairly straightforward, this one. So let's take a look at the banner, which I haven't actually set yet. What the fidgety fudge. So we want that. What don't we use? Don't use green. Don't use green. Purple. What's the other way around? Don't want minus red. That'll do. That'll do. Blue for the other troops. Bit more yellow for the weapon. That's absolutely fine. Oh, that's technically even better. We'll go with that, because we've got 2 purple troops there, so yeah, that's good. Class for this, I'm going to go with a Slayer for a little bit of fun. Inflict bleed on all enemies when an enemy dies. Become enraged when an enemy dies. It means our skulls hit harder, which means gain 4 attack, which is good for that. A counter attack, gain a 2 attack when I take damage. We can get more damage from these skulls. Don't think this one makes any sort of difference whatsoever, really. Ally dies. We don't want an ally dying. Let's get an extra soul every turn. Why not? Gain 1 glory in PvP battles. An ice storm at the start, or a firestorm at the start. I suppose we'll have ice storm just about. Vengeance. Gain 3 attack when an enemy dies. Life Siphon is handy. Steal 2 life from the first enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches. That can actually kill people if they're on super low life. Swift Curse. Somebody can just die straight away. Always fun when that happens. And this one's kind of wasted, but hey, it is what it is. Can't use that. And yeah, it is what it is. But it's still going to be fun to use. Let's jump in there and see what happens. You can go with a Medal of Arnie on this to give yourself a 20% mana start on all your team. Always a bit slower these ones than the Journey event and things like that, because no super quick starting mana on this, and it's been a bit mean to us anyway. But anyway, let's show roughly how it works. Let's get our red and yellow for our weapon. So here we go. We'll get that anyway because it's there. So damage to an enemy and loads of blue and brown. Let's bash that thing out because it's got a summon, and then we do a damage to all like this, and loads of damage to all, and kaboosh them all out of there. Yes, get our free lantern from matey boy. Green head, red eye, ear, hat, face. Thank you, matey. Be on your way. So I'll be tempted to go with Medal of Arnie on this actually, just make it that little bit quicker, because there's like no quick start on this at all. Apart from when you get a little bit of luck with the Lithian Servitor. Very nice. And on to the next. Like I say, if I'd done this Underspire myself this week, I would definitely be swapping out this troop at the bottom for Garner Tarlin. As soon as we get our weapon up, we're going to be feeding stacks of brown straight into Garner Tarlin. Any red, any yellow? No. Thanking you. Yeah, you're not going to cast again. There we go. There we go. Ooh. The only way is up, or right is right. Right is right. Right? Right. No red or yellow again. Let's get some blue then. Get some purple on the board at the same time. Happy days. Well, happy days for us. Not so much for them. But hey. We didn't ask for a fight. They just decided to come along and ask for one. So it's tough luck on them. Now we've got a spider trying to cause aggro. What the heck? Let's get some of that straight away like that. That was rather nice. So it can be pretty quick if you get the right drops. Especially if that Swift Curse comes in as well and just decides to kill someone just for a laugh. Oh, ha ha ha. Oh, that's a bit weird. Oh, the Lithian Servitor is up again. Very nice. Right, and that'll do for the Underspire team. Yeah, it actually turned out to be quite a quick team in the end. So, yes, there it is. There's a video. If you enjoyed it, it'd be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. And don't forget to check out North Star if you fancy a change in guild. A guild that gets literally every single thing done every single week, is climbing up the ranks and hammering guild wars at the same time. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.